Hello, welcome to my kitchen. Today I am putting a new spin on an old classic. You know, push over the spaghetti, just that regular spaghetti, which by the way, I do love. It was one of my favorite childhood meals and still is to this day. But if you have leftover spaghetti, or if you want to do something different with that old classic dish, I have got the perfect thing for you today, and that is spaghetti pie. It's so good, it's so simple, and it's a lot of fun to make and to serve. So tell me how you're doing this morning out there in Facebook world. Y'all are just awesome. Give me a shout out. Let me know that you're with me today. Peggy, hey, Amanda, Lori, Elaine, Liz, I see you. Thanks for joining me. And you know, as always, I am going to give you a shout out at the end. And hopefully, if you've got some questions throughout, I will be happy to answer those. Now, hey, Kathy and Reba. The first thing that we're starting with is our ground beef. It's really the star of the show, as usual. And I have browned a pound of ground beef and drained off any of the excess fat. And I'm adding some jarred marinara sauce or spaghetti sauce. You're going to need about 2 cups. You can use store-bought sauce. If you make your own, then by all means use that. Hopefully I can open it. And I am going to pour this right into this ground beef. This is just such a simple little thing, and y'all, it's got a big wow factor. I can't wait to wow you with mine. So I'm going to just stir this together. Now, normally I would simmer this for about 10 minutes, but today I'm going to forego that. And by the way, let me go ahead and get my oven preheated. I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees because this is an oven baked pie. Now I'm going to stir this together and just not overthink it. There we go, done. And this is going to sit for just a minute. We'll come back to this. And for those of you that ask me about my stove and if I ever use it, because I cook so much with my hot plate for videos, yes, I use my stove, and today I did just that. Next, we've got what I'm going to call our pie crust. And what the pie crust is cooked spaghetti noodles. And this is about a half of a package. And y'all, I'm going to say that you can use a half up to a whole 16-ounce package of spaghetti. It's really going to depend on you. I've made 2 pies. I divided my pasta and it's working just fine. So just watch what I do and see where you want yours to land. Now, I've got 2 eggs. These are large eggs, and I'm just going to whisk these together. Yum. We're going to make this pie crust stick. And to the eggs, I'm going to go ahead and flavor them because this egg is going to help this pasta form a pie crust. And I'm going to use, let's say, about a half of a tablespoon, give or take some kosher salt. Let me put that in there. We want to give those eggs flavor. And remember, y'all, when you cook your pasta, you've heard it before, but I'm going to say it again. You want your water as salty as the ocean. Pasta has 0 flavor, really. And so you need to add salt. And salt is going to carry you through. If you've got salt issues, then, you know, take it easy. But remember that you need to salt that water to give your pasta flavor. Now, these eggs are going right in to this pasta. Right on in there. And by the way, these have cooled completely. You don't want scrambled eggs in pasta noodles. So if you've cooked these and you're going to make this just immediately, give them a few minutes, let them come to room temperature, because remember, we're adding these eggs and we want the eggs to cook as the pie crust versus just scrambling them in hot, wet noodles. So I'm also adding a half of a cup of Parmesan cheese, and that's going right in. We're going to flavor this really good. This is going to have lots of flavor. I'm reserving a half of a cup because we're going to use that for something else. And I'm just going to mix this together and make sure that these eggs are coated this pasta is coated with the eggs. And y'all, this is a great way. I've got a clump there. You know what? I'm going to remove this clump. No, no, no. You're not going in my pie. That is not a happy thing. So sometimes that happens. But this is a great way to get added protein too. So if you're cooking for those kids, you've got the protein in your ground beef, lots of vitamins and minerals that help create those healthy brains. And you've got these eggs, which are also high in protein and are so good for you. Now, you can use a regular old deep dish pie plate, but I'm going to show you just my little spin on this that makes it pretty and elegant. And I kind of want to say it almost not gives extra servings, because the same amount of everything is in any dish you put it in. Listen, you can put it in a cake pan if you want to. That's entirely up to you. But the presentation with the 10-inch springform pan really makes a difference, and I can't wait to show you the one I've already made. Now, I am going to spray this with some nonstick spray, because remember, this pasta has eggs in it. So eggs stick. They like to hang on for dear life. So we're going to say, let it go, let it go. Now, I am going to add this pasta right into my springform pan. Let me put this over here. I felt a noodle go somewhere. There you go, back in. All right, now I'm gonna spread this out, and here's what we've got here. And I'm gonna push these noodles up the side a little bit. You don't have to go all the way. If you're using a pie pan, then yeah, you're probably gonna have a little bit less space, so you're gonna wanna push those noodles up as far as they'll go. And there we go. That's all that we're doing. They're already seasoned. They're ready to go. And boom, we're done. Now we have another layer. Think of this almost like a lasagna pie, but we're using same ingredients, just kind of shook it up a little bit. Now you can use one of two things. And by the way, I have already posted the recipe for you. If you'll scroll down under the title, you'll see the recipe and the instructions in full. And I have given you an option. You can use ricotta cheese or you can use cream cheese, either one. And if you're not a fan of either, eliminate it. It's okay. Just add some extra mozzarella cheese or whatever it is that you like. Now I've got 8 ounces of cream cheese because we like that. It's delicious. It gives this spaghetti pie just a whole new kind of flavor. And I'm going in with the rest of that Parmesan cheese. And you can use store-bought Parmesan cheese. I'm going to even say that the stuff in the green can is actually good in this pie. If you'll use those pantry ingredients with fresh ingredients, you can really boost it and make it delicious. Now I'm going in with the rest of my Italian seasoning. And you can go as heavy or as light as you want with the Italian seasoning. If you like a little bit more, if you want to add garlic, whatever, just make it your own. I'm showing you the base of this recipe, but put your own spin on it. And you know what your family likes and doesn't like. My family, which consists of Jimmy, for tonight, is not a big garlic fan. And so I've already got garlic in the marinara sauce. So I am going to lay off adding additional garlic. So really, just, you know, it's your family. You're cooking for your people. So just add what they like. Now I'm stirring this together. And as I think I said, I'm using softened cream cheese. I just left it out on the counter for a little while and let it get good and soft. But I am certainly not opposed to putting this in the microwave for just maybe 30 seconds to get it even softer if it's not obeying you. Let's just say that. Hey, Miss Jerry. Jerry says she likes my shirt. Well, thank you. This is my debut for my new Kathy's Southern Kitchen Beef It's What's for Dinner shirt. And I was excited to wear it. Now, I'm going to, let's see, we're going to just kind of drop this in drops. Watch what I'm going to do. Can you see it really well? I'm going to just add little drops of it here and there. I want to cover all of this pasta and make sure that we're going to get good bites. And this is difficult to spread. Y'all, the ricotta is a little bit easier to spread. You know what? I didn't have any ricotta today. I ran out. I looked at my refrigerator and I said, oh no. So we like the cream cheese anyway. So y'all, it just gives it, like I said, just such a great, unique flavor. I make what I call a favorite ground beef casserole. And in the ground beef casserole, and it's literally called my favorite ground beef casserole. I've had that recipe for years. And it calls for cream cheese in that recipe versus the ricotta. And y'all, it's amazing. Yeah, here I am telling you it won't spread and I'm not listening. My mother tells me every now and then, Kathy, you're not listening. And I know she's right. By the way, she's doing great. I've already seen her this morning. I'm going to go back over there after lunch, bring her a slice of this pie. But you just want to get where you're going to have this throughout, and that every slice that you cut is going to have some of this cream cheese. And by the way, when we put this in the oven and we actually cook it, this is going to spread and melt even more. So don't be concerned if yours looks like mine. That is not a bad thing. Now, we've got, I don't have anything to put that on. There we go. We've got our ground beef and marinara, and this is going right over this cream cheese and pasta. Oh, y'all, if you could only smell my kitchen. Every time I hear somebody doing a cooking video and they say that we wish we had smell-o-vision, it sounds so cheesy, but it's so true, because it just smells so good. It smells like home. It smells like I want to be here. It smells like I want to make this and I want to eat it. And I am. Now I'm going to push this all to the sides And I'm not going all the way to the very edge. Hey, Miss Lynn, I can't quite read your comment. She says it looks delicious, but if you'll repost that comment, maybe I'll catch it on the next round. But you don't want to put it all the way to the edges where the sauce is actually falling down into the edges. You want to keep that a little clean, so to speak. And that's going to make a better presentation when you remove the ring on the springform pan. Now I have some Italian cheese. You can use mozzarella. You can use a mozzarella and provolone blend, just whatever you like or prefer. I've even seen some put Kojak on this, and that's not bad either. I've never met a cheese that I didn't like. As a matter of fact, I don't know anything that comes from a cow that I don't enjoy. Well, maybe I can think of one thing, but we won't talk about that right now. You're going to put your 8 ounces on here and spread this out. Just give it a good spread. Yum. And there's been an occasion when I didn't have the Parmesan, and I've used the mozzarella, just the shredded mozzarella, in with the pasta and also with the ricotta. It's actually really good. So there's a lot of improvising that you can do on this recipe. And believe me, I've pretty much done it all. Now I am going to gild the lily just a little bit and show you something. Now this is completely optional. This is something that you can add or not add, but I promise you, if you have any children in your house or grown men, they like pepperoni, okay? So I've got one over here that doesn't have it, and I am just going to add a few pepperoni onto this. And it looks, y'all, once it cooks, the top of it looks like a pizza. And it's so good. I don't want to overwhelm. You know what? I pulled out just the right amount of slices. That's perfect. I'm very happy with that. That way, every slice of the spaghetti pie is going to have a little bit of pepperoni. And y'all, I prefer beef pepperoni. If you can find it, it's delicious. A lot of your grocery stores carry it, and it's just amazing. All right, now I have got one here that I've already made. So let me see if I can do this. I'm just going to use this same baking sheet and parchment paper for this second pie. Let's see. Okay. Bear with me just a minute. I'm going to get this going. I'm going to put this on my cake plate or my pie plate. And make sure that you line your parchment paper or you line your baking sheet with parchment paper anytime you're using a springform pan. It's super important. Springform pans aren't supposed to leak, but unfortunately they will just a little bit. So you want to protect your pan. So this is going into my 350-degree oven that I've preheated, and this is going to cook for about 40 minutes. Now remember, everything in this pie is cooked except for the eggs. We're just getting those eggs to set in that pasta. We're getting all of this warmed through and those flavors melded together. And I will say that after 40 minutes of cooking, if you see that your cheese is getting too brown, lay a piece of tinfoil over the top of it and it'll be fine. And just protect it, but it'll be fine. And just depending upon your particular oven, because unfortunately they're not all the right temperatures, it may take up to 50 minutes, and that's okay. So this is going in you go. And this, y'all, By the way, as you can see, I'm about to have a lot of spaghetti pie. This freezes beautifully. I mean, beautifully. This is something that you can make ahead. You can thaw to room temperature and then just bake it until it warms through, just enough for it to be warmed. Cover it with a little bit of tin foil so that the cheese doesn't get too brown. And voila, you have dinner. And it just freezes perfectly. And another thing, you can actually freeze it in slices. If you say, I don't want a whole spaghetti pie, or I've got some left over, you know, slice it, wrap it individually, put it in the freezer, and shazam, you've got dinner. I do that a lot. A lot of times I'm doing other things and I need to have something quick for Jimmy for supper. And I'll take out a piece of this spaghetti pie, make a little salad, a little French bread, and he thinks he has just won the lottery, y'all. Okay, now I am, usually this goes really well, but you know, we are Facebook Live. Hey, Miss Angie Shazam, she says, Linda. And I bet you that if I was a betting girl, that the Alabama Cattlemen's Association has joined us. And just welcome Josie and Kayla and all of my just favorite people at the ACA. Now, I've just run my knife around this because we want to give it a little extra help whenever you're using a springform pan. Now I'm going to unbuckle. It's got this buckle here. And I am going to simply pull this off. Doesn't that look great? Look at that. Now, before you freeze it, make sure if you've used a springform pan that I'd go ahead and maybe pop it in the refrigerator so that you can get the bottom removed from the springform pan, and it just works a lot better when it's cool. And by the way, you need to let this cool before you slice it. Do not take it out of the oven and expect to run a knife right through it and it be done. It needs to sit a good 15 minutes. Anytime you make a casserole, you need to give it a rest time because that gives it time to just kind of settle. If you remove that springform ring right after it's come out of the oven, you're going to have goulash instead of pie. And y'all, that's delicious, but that's not what we're looking for. Now, I am going to garnish because that is what I do. And I've got some fresh basil here. If you don't have fresh basil, you can grab some of that Italian seasoning that we've used in this recipe and sprinkle that over the top. We're not even going to use a knife for this. I have got my kitchen shears. They're handy for so many things, y'all. And I am going to cut in a chiffonade. And the way you're going to make a chiffonade is stack your leaves, then just give them a little roll and make just a little tube. And start cutting. And cut all the way around, just like that. This fresh basil smells wonderful. I love fresh herbs. I grow them on our patio and try to have them all year long. I just think that they just add so much to a dish. To our eyes, we eat with our eyes first, then our smell, and then our taste. So if it looks good and smells good, then our brain tells us it's really gonna taste good. Okay, I'm breaking apart those big pieces, but look, we didn't even use our knife, no cutting board, nothing. Now let's cut this pie. I'm gonna cut it on my side because I don't think I'm coordinated enough to get over there and do this. So I am gonna give it a cut, and Then I'll turn it and let you see it. Get a good sharp knife, just as you would a pie. And I want a fairly large slice. Jimmy's coming home for lunch, and like I said, I'm going to send Mom some of this, and they're going to love it. And then one goes in the freezer. Okay, just make sure that it's cut. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to turn this and let you see. Look at this. Y'all. Can you tell I'm getting excited? Let's see if you can just check that out. Oh, yum. Y'all, there's just something special about this. There's something in spaghetti that brings out the child in all of us. And I just love this take on it. This is the moment that I have been waiting for. Look at this. I'm about to go big, y'all. Go big or go home is what I say. It's got everything in this. It's cool enough to where I can eat it and not burn my mouth. But you have got a little bit of that cream cheese. You've got your ground beef that's full of flavor. I've just seasoned it with a little S&P. No need to go heavy on the seasoning because we're adding the marinara, pasta, eggs, cheese. Y'all, the flavors in this are just amazing. You've got the cheesiness and the creaminess, and the pasta takes on a completely different feel with the eggs and the cheese. It's silky. It's almost like a carbonara, I think, when you coat the pasta with the eggs. And y'all, this works. Everything about this recipe works, and it works big. I mean, really, really big. You have got to make this. Like I said, if you have kids in your house, or it's just you or whoever, make this. They will love it. And look how much this serves. Y'all, this is elegant enough to serve at a dinner party. Put this on the center of the table with a great salad, some crusty, buttery, garlicky French bread, and you have got a meal that is so satisfying and delicious that people will be talking about for a long time. Hey, Carol. Hey, Vicki. I want to tell you that this recipe and so much more is in this month's Alabama Cattlemen's magazine. I know I've told you this before, but I probably will say it every time. My grandfather is the one that brought this Alabama Cattlemen's magazine to pass. I'm very proud of that. The Cattlemen's Association produce a monthly edition 12 months out of the year. And to get this magazine is only $50 a year. Along with that magazine, y'all, being a member of the Alabama Cattlemen's Association gives you so many perks, and you get 2 basically steak dinners a year, one with your local chapter and one with your regional chapter. I don't know anywhere where you can go out to eat and get steaks for $50, at least 2, or even 2 of them. And here is my spread. I write articles for the Alabama Cattlemen's magazine, and I share delicious recipes, and this spaghetti pie is featured in this month's issue. So make sure you go online and you check that out with I've already shared the link. Go to the description, click on the link, and y'all can check out that magazine. I've also shared a link for Beef It's What's for Dinner. If you're looking for great beef recipes, mine and so much more, check them out, because you just won't believe the resources that are there. How to cook beef, what temperatures, just everything that you would want to know. Beef 101, so to speak, is on that website, and just fantastic recipes. All right, y'all. It's going to be hard for me to wait till Jimmy gets home to eat the rest of this. Y'all make this. I promise you will absolutely love it. And would you do me a favor? The blessing that you are always a blessing to me, and I appreciate you so much. But it would bless me even more if you would like, comment, and share this video. I'm sure somebody else that you know wants to make this beautiful, delicious spaghetti pie. So, y'all, I don't know. What time is it? 11:30. He ought to be walking through the door in the next 10 minutes, and I promise you that every bite of this pie slice is going to be gone, and maybe another. All right, check in with me tomorrow. I'll be going live tomorrow afternoon to make a remake of the shortcut tiramisu. You won't want to miss it. I love y'all. Make sure you check out the websites. I'm going to go enjoy my spaghetti pie, and I will see you next time. Bye.